Better walk the line. Good morning. It is June 26, 2025. And you, my friend, are tuned into the Hat and Beard Show. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you telling a friend. That's what we love about you. You guys are here to be a part of the largest, fastest growing NFL content creation station, Detroit Lions fandom. Streaming from the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time block, exclusively streaming from his Grandma Studio One. Today, guys, we have a couple of tree stories to get built out for you. The first one, it might take a little long to read because it comes from us from the New York Times. And those of you guys who know anything about the New York Times know that they really enjoy adding as much possible fluff and snuffing their own farts while they read articles. But this is something kind of interesting, something that kind of tickled my pickle a little bit, and that is AI is coming to the NFL, and it could transform the game. Just to show you exactly how far and behind the times the mainstream media is, they have been using AI for an obnoxious amount of time. Depends on your definition of artificial intelligence, since there isn't any actual artificial intelligence. All we have is, basically hyper advanced search engines and really fast calculators. But this is something that we can kind of poke around at. Look how long this article is. Probably not going to be reading this whole thing, simply because, hey, Pete Carroll with his nipples poking out, simply because I have a 6th grade reading level, and none of you want to hear all of the self-flatulating nonsense that spews from the New York Times. So we'll poke around at that. Why not a little bit? And then we're going to go ahead and walk over to DetroitFootball.net. Look, there's a lot of hype around the old Tater, around old Tate Ratledge, the Motor City Mullet himself. We're a big fan of old Tate Ratledge here at the Hat and Beard Show. Namely, I myself said that he had to be the guy. He had to be. I don't care what we did in the draft, as long as we walked out with old Tater Ratledge. And that's exactly what Brad Holmes did. However, a sneaky little move that he made at the back end of the draft. This would be multiple years in a row where Brad Holmes takes these shots on these guys. And more times than not, it actually works out for us. So, think Malcolm Rodriguez, think Christian Mahogany, right? And here we got old Miles Frazier coming out of LSU. And how ready is Lions rookie Miles Frazier to compete for a starting job? Here's what a study of his college tape revealed. This is an interesting little read. He's getting a little, not a lot of focus, not a lot of hype around him, obviously, with the departure of our big Frank the Tank Ragnow after a stalwart career. Pure Iron Man should, in my opinion, earn a spot in Canton simply because of what he meant to the modern day NFL as far as toughness, grittiness, and really just commitment to staying with one organization through thick and thin. A lot of focus has been, a lot of talk has been around Tate Ratledge, justifiably so, and Graham Glasgow as to what we're going to do with that interior offensive line, throwing a little Christian Mahogany. But one of the guys who's kind of, I'd say, being slept on is old Miles Frazier. We still do have guys in-house on roster, but they're probably going to end up getting cut. Colby Sorsdahl comes to mind. Kawode Awashika comes to mind. Where is the development of Giovanni Manu? Simply because Miles Frazier, hyper-talented offensive lineman coming out of a big program in a, some would say, the most talented conference in college football, playing at LSU. Not only was he a starting offensive lineman, but then he was essentially your two spot for every other position along the offensive line, meaning he would just swap out and someone else. It speaks a lot of his versatility. We do know that in the modern NFL, and mostly this trend, in my opinion, being led by the Detroit Lions and the evolution of the game that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have instilled across the league, you need to have a lot of versatility, especially with our offensive line play and the high athleticism and physicality in which our offensive line plays at. Bringing in a guy like Miles Frazier is one of those sneaky Brad Holmes moves. One of those things that I really like. One of those things that I think possibly 2-3 years from now we're going, how did this guy fall to us at the back end of the draft? So something we'll take a little look at. And if we have time, we we did get a little bit late start to the game, to the day. Had a little bit of old hiccups on the production side of it, and had to take a last-minute poop before the show got started. But you seen her on the thumbnail, and I'm sure that's why you clicked, because, well, personally, guys, look at that babe. Look at her. Look at that stone-cold fox, Sheila Hamp. Woo-hoo-hoo! Ranking the top 5 decisions Sheila Hamp has made as Lions owner. What is the best decision Sheila Hamp has made as owner of the Lions? This is coming to us from SI.com, Detroit Lions on SI. Sheila Hamp. Now, personally, I'm going to be honest, not too wild about women in high positions of leadership. Kind of one of them type dudes, if you know what I'm saying. But I gotta respect game, recognize game, and I have to respect the results that I've seen. One of the most important owners in the NFL, and someone who, in today's modern rah-rah feminism, yeah, you know, why doesn't Sheila get way more accolades for being one of handful, meaning in one hand, not even two hands, in a one handful group of women in ownership roles of not just a major sports franchise, but one of 32 people who own a team in the largest money-making machine sports entertainment industry, arguably in the world. And what she has been able to do. Okay, some of you are going to be scratching the surface here as welcome to the pride. But those of you, myself, most of you in the chat right now, you guys completely understand what we had to go through under the tyrannical ownership of William Clay Ford, and then followed up with just the nonsense of oh God, what was her name? Oh, who was running it? Sheila's mom. I can't think of her name right now, but you always see her there, that pickled old little tiny lady with the glasses on. I mean, it was just bad leadership, and people say from the top down. But with the Lions, it literally started with ownership for many, many decades. A complacency on hanging your hat on setting a high watermark at mediocrity, and now that's not the case. And it's impressive to see that an owner came in making such cultural changes with the organization, who then was pretty forward in the media when she first took over. Remember, she had that incredibly important interview after Dan Campbell just started. I mean, it was rough goings, fellas. It was rough goings. It was not the product was not good, okay, because we had to do such a overhaul of the organization. And Sheila came right out and she said, "This is a rebuild. This isn't just a remodel, more or less." You know, she said we had to tear it all the way down. She is a woman who understood what needed to be done, the decisions that needed to be made, and she put people in positions where they were allowed to succeed. And I think that she doesn't get the due credit that she is owed in today's, female-centric world or whatever. And we're just going to shine a little bit of a spotlight on old Sheila Hamp if we got time. Hopefully I can make time. With that out of the way, boys and girls, welcome to the Hat and Beard Show. We got the chat going off already. That's what I like to see. Good morning, everybody. We're just going around on Brent DeWitt. Good morning, everybody. Morning, Sam Armstrong. Mr. Hey! What's up, Mr. S? Long time no see, brother. Finally made it to live. Good morning, Jeanette Hall. Mr. Detroit City, USA. What's up, brother? Check out the old Fight Like Hell shirt, huh? Yeah, dude. The closer we get to one of my favorite holidays, the 4th of July, the more the stars and stripes are going to be swanging like my balls here on the Hat and Beard Show. I like Frazier coming out. I think he's a year away from starting. That's where I'm at. Brent DeWitt, I think he's a solid developmental player. If he was in a organization with less versatility and depth on the offensive line. I think Miles Frazier would be a guy who would be a fringe forced into a starting role player, and we've seen it time and time again be catastrophic for development of players. That's where I like Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell's understanding of the psyche of players and how to protect your talent as well as develop them in a smart way. Sheila already has said what her best hire was. Chris Spielman. Yes, dude. Martha Ford. That's right, Brent. You're right. Martha Ford. I couldn't remember her name, but that battered old bitch. Because she loves and understands football and stands up to the NFL. Yes, Jeanette Hall, you're right. Yeah, it's pretty impressive that of 32 teams, there's a handful of females, and Sheila Hamp has a set of the biggest balls on her out of 32 people who own NFL teams. She's in a handful of female ownership, and then in an even smaller handful of just owners with a giant set of brass balls between their legs. You know what I'm saying? Good morning from the office. That was overcompensating for the heat. It's like 40 in here. Oh, morning, Chase. Hopefully you're enjoying that nice, cool AC, brother. Hopefully we get ourselves a little bit of reprieve here, but looking at this 7 to 10 day forecast, there's really no low pressure or cold front coming in. So especially for those of us this side of the Mississippi, and really for you cats along the East Coast, we're going to just live in a environmental crock pot for a while, if you were. Really break everything down nice and slow cook us until all the fat's rendered off. Now, you can go ahead and follow me over on Instagram if you want. I've been trying to be a little bit more motivational over there, giving people, look, dude, sweating's good for you. Go to the gym, utilize this heat as a good chance to detoxify, flush out some of that water weight, really take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? Frazier was potentially a second or third round pick. We stole him in the 5th. He's one of the ugliest owners, but we love her. Dude, yes. So Frazier, along with Christian Mahogany last year, both these guys who at one point had a mid to higher round grade on them and were able to slide. I think Mekhi Wingu last year, I think also kind of a situation with that. Yes, Sam, yes. She, unfortunately, our girl Sheila, not the most attractive, but in a weird way, just an absolute stone cold fox. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just something about Sheila and her massive balls. You know what I'm saying? Hey, morning, John Cole. I'm out of breath, but I'm back in time for the live hat and beard. Cardio didn't kill you yet. And cardio, as long as it's done properly, I'll give you some love on that one, dude, is a good thing. Now, especially right now, guys, if we're trying to slim down a little bit, now it's obviously a little too late for us to get our beach bodies, but there's no reason why we can't cut a little weight, live in a little bit of a caloric deficit through these couple of months before we slide. I'm going to be sliding into a bulk from, I want to say, mid to late August all the way through until the start of Lent next year. So that's when we'll start another cut cycle. But go ahead and follow me on Instagram. You guys can follow along. We can help motivate each other, get a little swole, get a little bit of mass on us, build up a little bit. I'm 120. I don't want to lose any more weight. No, Chase, you don't need to lose any more weight, my guy. We need to get you a little bit more mass. You need to get them calories up, bud. Get that protein up, dude. Get a little bit of resistance training on them muscles, dude. You can get a little bit of mass to you there, bud. So, all right, fellas. Now that's we've said morning, everybody. Boy, we are really dragging ass this morning. So we're just gonna quickly run through it. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. We're live Monday through Wednesday, 10 to 11 a.m. Plans to go 5 days a week. Like the video, share it all around with the algorithm. We're kind of in a little bit of a slump. Lost a subscriber yesterday because, oh no, Hat and Beard talked about the Orange Man. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Hit that swole toll daily, Mr. Tracy. Hell yeah, brother. That's right. You gotta hit them fucking high calories and good proteins. Make sure and get a good pump in. Sidebar, take advantage of recovery days, dude. Take advantage of recovery days. All right, so, enough glazing here, fellas. Let's get into the show.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
I do like that saying, pump for Trump, baby. I think that's awesome. All right. I swear I'm so sick of this hay fever congestion nonsense. Seems like everybody's getting it. I swear we are about done with it, though. This is it's been like a week and a half, I swear, guys. So, over here at The Athletic, AI is coming for the NFL, and it could transform the game. In 1968, Stanley Kubrick released 2001: A Space Odyssey and creeped out an entire country with the idea of a future controlled by artificial intelligence. In the summer of 2025, Zach Robinson is facing the idea of watching football and discussing strategy with a computer. And he's a little creeped out, too. The 38-year-old Atlanta Falcons offense coordinator worked as an analyst for PFF before starting his coaching career in 2019, a stint that convinced him of the value of potential of advanced analytics. But there's a wide gulf between the math used to optimize fourth down decisions and a voice AI agent telling you to look out for the weak side linebacker while you're sitting alone in your office on a Tuesday night. So I'm going to be honest, if you are an offensive coordinator and while you're drawing up plays, you don't think to account for one of the 11 defenders on the field, and you need an AI to do it, all that does is speak to how fucking stupid we are as a goddamn society. Holy shit, man. Goddamn. Okay, so tell you what. Zach Robinson, you go ahead and pay me a consulting fee, and I'll go ahead and give you the same advice. Better yet, dude, instead of relying, because AI takes so much energy to use. It's so much power used in AI. How about you just call me? Even better yet, dude. Even better yet. We don't even have to use cell phones, brother. We'll use landlines. They're even more efficient. Okay, hardline connection landline. You got 30 stadiums you got to go to. Right, so it's 30 different numbers you'll have to call me from, right? But we'll just direct line into. I'll even get you even better, dude. Instead of a corded home phone or a cordless home phone, I will hook back up a corded home phone in my kitchen phone jack with a long curly cord that I can walk about the house in. Okay, and on game days, you just pay me a slight consulting fee. I'm not asking for much. Just go, dude. As long as I can clear $30K a year consulting fee. You can call me and tell me what plays you're thinking of, and I will give you the advice that you need AI to fucking tell you, and that is watch out for the weak side linebacker. Sounds pretty fair. Sounds like not only are you saving a ton on energy usage, but then you don't seem like the second coming of Skynet. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, what a dipshit. I don't know, Robinson said, considering the scenario. I'm a little scared. He and other NFL coaches are going to have to get comfortable crossing the water soon. Instead of Hal 9000, think of it as Bill Walsh 3000. You got to beat your man to the punch. You know what I'm saying? Which could be assigned to watch the rotations of the secondary while a human coach focuses on the front seven. Oh, good. Yes, because again, first of all, why are we removing the human element from the game if we're literally just trying to keep eyes on jersey numbers coming on and coming off, who's on the field, substitution packages? If you're relying on AI, not to be that guy, I use chat fucking GPT pretty regularly, okay? I've tried other chat bots and stuff or other, large language models. They're kind of dumb. They're very, very limited in what they can do. Okay, it's kind of what I would imagine is like coaching a toddler along. Like you can get them to the right information and understanding, but if they're going to interpret it properly, or sometimes they just throw their hands up. For example, I have had chatbot or Chat GPT numerous times tell me that Donald Trump is not the current president of the United States, right? Because first of all, their information is limited. But I've also had them completely make shit up, make up links, make up articles, make up information. So if you're going to honestly consider this to be a reality, the Bill Walsh 3000, which really, Bill Walsh being a boxing fan, you'd almost rather it come from Boston Dynamics and be like a boxing robot instead of a coaching AI assistant to help you monitor the rotation of players. At best, you're looking at an 80% accuracy rate. At least with the human element, you got coaches. I think you're looking at a huge misstep here. I think this is a huge misstep. In a league in which teams are constantly looking for an edge, the next big one won't be coming through the draft or free agency, but from artificial intelligence tools that are on the verge of transforming how coaches think about the game and do their jobs, and maybe even with coaches still have those jobs in a decade. Exactly. So first of all, it's taking jobs away from people, which kind of sucks. The next big thing won't be coming from the draft or free agency, but from artificial intelligence. Then how come the league has, whenever we see the league evolve, it's just a matter of recycled trends? Because there's, I mean, let's be honest, there's only so many ways to play the game of football. And no matter what happens due to the how the game is played, there's always going to be a weakness to exploit, whether you want to do it in a creative way or a traditional way. The long and short of it is you got 4 downs to move 10 yards, and then you have a series of 10 yards to get your the ball across the end zone or the goal line. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty simple. It's not that complicated. Stop making mountains out of molehills here, fellas. Like, draft well, bring in good, talented players, have psychologically strong players that can get in and buy into the goals of the head coaches, put strong coaches in place. But you know what, dude? In like 10 years, maybe the generation raised on tablets and who are illiterate. Do you realize that like there is like it's like a third of American students are grade level efficient in reading, like only like 1/3. They're dumb. They're just dumb. We have a generation of just dumb fat kids. So how many of them are really going to be playing football? The ones that are playing football, are they even going to be playing at a high level because they're so dumb and fat with just screwed up brains and low testosterone? And they'll be so, like, let's be honest. In 15 years, that'd put us at what, 2040, right? Now, the idea that Dan Campbell's going to still be the head coach of the Detroit Lions in 15 years is kind of crazy, but let's just have this thought exercise. Do you really think that the mentality of a Dan Campbell, a Mike Vrabel, a Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, is going to really be conducive to the nerfed version Gen Alpha coming behind everybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way that they're going to be able to handle a loud coach in their face. They're going to need babysitting robots to come and chat GPT their way through with the most with the softest language possible. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're really looking at, dude. AI equals artificial ignorance. I love it, Brent DeWitt. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome, Chase. Now his daughter, she likes her tablet, but she loves school and is 2 belts away from her junior black belt. Badass, bro. You got a fucking little badass daughter, dude. That is sick, dude. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Shout out Chase, dude. I feel pretty confident saying that some team is going to win the Super Bowl in the next few years utilizing AI at a very high rate. See that at a very high rate, which means they're already using AI to gain an advantage. It's analyzing data. It's not, I can't do that for you. You know what I'm saying? Significantly higher than it has ever been used before. It's really an opportunity to differentiate yourself from a team that might have a more talented roster or better coaches or whatnot. There is going to be more than a separation with teams that are brought in. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the dorkification of the NFL is over. Yes, there is numbers, there is analytics, but there's also, just shut up and go punch him in the mouth. Everybody's got a plan. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Look at the Lions. Do you think we had a plan? Do you think we planned on losing 600 players to IR last year? Nope. Still went out and punched everybody right in the teeth. Well, until the division round of the playoffs when we ourselves had our shit kicked in. Pete Carroll is fully bought in. The NFL's oldest head coach is maybe its biggest believer in its youngest technology. Oh, good. He likes using the Facebook to help him with football. Everything you can think of is possible right now, the 73-year-old said. His early adopter status isn't surprising considering his history, which includes head coaching stints with the New York Jets, New England Patriots, Seattle Seabags, and the University of Southern California, USC, where last year he taught a class called, quote, The Game of Life. As part of that class, Carroll spoke with the author and New Age guru Deepak Chopra. Yeah, so I think what you see here is a little bit of Pete Carroll huffing a little bit of copium, and I'll explain why here in a second. Check this out, Carroll said. He talked about AI giving him the opportunity to interview himself, talking to himself through AI as he was actually questioning his own person and being answered by his own person in return, or just what the ones and zeros would think that you're going to say by linking words together that make sense to them. They can't really encapsulate like human emotion and like soul behind things. Like it can come close, but it's just simply a replica. You know what I'm saying? So what I think you're really seeing here is copium from Pete Carroll. Why would Pete Carroll? Where is he? Where is he, Pete Carroll? Where are you? I know there's a picture of you down here somewhere. There he is. Pete Carroll. Why would he be embracing AI? Do you think that if Pete Carroll had AI a few years ago when he was the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks and they were on the goal line in a Super Bowl, and you had a guy in the backfield, oh God, what was his name? Marshawn Lynch, better known as motherfucking Beast Mode. Do you think the AI would have been like, hey, maybe you should run the ball on the goal line? And do you think Pete Carroll's like, damn it, if only I had AI. If only I had AI, then I would have made the right decision. Alas, my plan was foiled. Fucking idiot, Pete Carroll. Yeah, so they talk about how IBM started a bunch of shit. There are a lot of very, very smart coaches, but oftentimes they don't have the time in their schedule to learn what Larissa's group can teach. So they get a little antsy and they say, screw it, I'll get to it later. So no. Look, I'm just old school. I'm just a Mr. Old-timey, old tickety-timey Andy Rooney over here. Let's go ahead and, Andy Rooney. Here I am, just Andy Rooneying it up, just telling you guys about, my stance on AI. I don't think it's going to work. So this is my spirit animal inside. I don't like the idea of AI entering the NFL. I think it's stupid. What we use it for now to analyze data is fine, but the concept of having this voice, this analyst behind glasses breaking things, I just don't see it. I don't see it, man. I don't understand. You can gain an edge to having a certain analytical advantage to the data, but this idea of bringing in AI to monitor rotations of players, it's just foolishness to me. So if you really, Zach Morrison or Harrison or whatever the fuck your name is there, the OC of the Falcons, dude, if you really need help understanding that, Zach Robinson, that if you really need help with an AI telling you to look out for the weak side linebacker while you're sitting alone in your office on a Tuesday night, brother, $30K a year. I just got to clear $30K a year after taxes. You can just call me as a consulting fee, dude. Boom, perfect. There, solve that problem for you. Lickety splickety. I'm a hustler. Who wants me on their corporate franchise team? Let's go ahead and walk on over to the chat. I got a little out in the weeds there. Wow, you guys have been popping off. Robots are soulless creatures, evil. Read scripture, folks. Mr. Troy City, exactly, dude. Exactly. Hell yeah, Chase. Getting some love on your sister being a badass. In 20 years of the game, there will be the game will be flag football. Exactly, Jeanette. That's exactly it. They're just going to be a bunch of soft fucking Wally people. You know what I'm saying? Pete Carroll and Agent Smith from the AI Matrix, dude. AI people jobs easier and frees them up to do more. I'm all for it. Replacing people? Absolutely not. Yeah, so Like I said, AI can be an assistant. It can help out in some things. There are some advantages to it. But this whole idea of Skynet, robots taking everything over, look, man, the robot, I've worked in robotics for a long time. Uh, Robots are stupid, okay? Robots can only do what robots can do. Now, robots are stupid because they'll tell you exactly what they need, especially with like ladder logic and stuff like that. But like, robots aren't the smartest things ever, dude. They can't analyze variables per se, at least not yet. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't think this whole fucking AI assistant coach is where it's at. I think what you're seeing right now is everything with AI. I mean, was AI equals all Indians, because it was that one company that had a $1 billion evaluation a few weeks back, got caught that all of their AI was just 700 Indians. And I don't mean fucking feather, I mean dots at a call center. You know what I'm saying? Tech support, not whiskey. And I think what you're seeing now is what was similar to the .com bubble back when the internet was still the wide open internet, just the wild, wild west. You slap .com on anything, you get a hyper overinflated appraisal, and then we've seen a massive collapse. I think you're going to see that with AI, where everything is being speculated. Oh, AI can do this. Oh, AI can do that. Blah, 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 blah. Ultimately, humans are going to end up putting restrictions on the limiting what can be done with AI, simply because you can't remove the human aspect from things. Now, if you want a good example of why you shouldn't allow AI and what could ultimately come, there is a book series called Dune, and they talk about the Butlerian Wars. So I recommend checking that out. That is ultimately why you have human computers in the Dune universe. But just a little something fun to kind of take a little looky-loo at, little poke around. How we doing at the poll, guys? We do have, don't forget, 1 like equals FBJ. That's F. Ben Johnson. So far, the poll's running away with F small PP. 89% of you said F small PP. Awesome. And one of you still loves Bend Over Johnson. To each their own. I don't blame you. AI is what crypto and NFTs were a few years ago. It's a buzzword that investors love. My guy, Chase, you nailed the hammer, or the nail right on the head of the hammer, dude. You just absolutely knocked that one right out of the park. Exactly. It's fluff. It's a bubble. It's going to pop eventually. Sam, that was the dumbest call. Marshawn was dominating on the ground, and Pete thought it was smarter than everyone else. And that's why Pete is like, oh, if I just had AI to help me out there, I probably wouldn't have done it. Oh. All right, guys, if you haven't already, would you kindly subscribe to the channel? Walk on over to that like button. Go ahead and assault it. Hit the 2-piece and the like and the biscuit on the way down to the share button. Copy that link down on the clipboard. Share it around with all your friends. It helps the channel grow out. And go ahead and ring that notification bell. That way you know when we go live Monday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with plans to expand to 5 days a week. Just keep your ear to the ground and hear the almighty Buffalo. So we're going to walk on over to DetroitFootball.net. How ready is Lions rookie Miles Frazier to compete for a starting job? Here's what a study of his college tape said. It was understood going into the 2025 NFL Draft that the Detroit Lions needed to come away with interior offensive line depth. Landing at least one option with early career starting potential would have been particularly beneficial. Following the departure of Kevin Zeitler in free agency and veteran Graham Glasgow coming off one of his worst seasons as he inches towards the end of his career. Inches, more like rolls and rolls. It wouldn't be for another couple of months before we realized how much greater the urgency to address that roster area would become. All-Pro center Frank Ragnow's abrupt retirement this summer at 29 years old only emphasizes the need for an influx of blocking talent. Lions GM Brad Holmes, who stated in January that he wanted to keep the entire garden watered when discussing investing in the line, got off to a strong start with the selection of Georgia's Tate Ratledge in the second round. Again, we didn't know at the time, but the Lions potentially found Ragnow's replacement with that pick. After the Ratledge edition, Holmes kept the hose running into the draft's third day, snagging LSU guard Miles Frazier, a versatile lineman who primarily played guard for the Tigers, but has some offensive tackle on his resume from earlier in his college career. He also served as LSU's backup at these spots, including a spot start at right tackle for his final game school. Unlike Ratledge, Frazier isn't expected to immediately be in the mix for a starting job with the Lions. However, last year's 6th-round pick, Christian Mahogany, proved it's possible to carve out a path to an opportunity quickly. Presumably, the 3 youngsters, Mahogany, Ratledge, and Frazier, could be Detroit's projected starting interior a year from now. That's what we talked about, Brent DeWitt. This could be a year out. Before the potential future arrives, we've already taken a deeper look at what Ratledge brings to the table via a study of his University of Georgia tape. Now it's time to do the same for Frazier, to understand his strengths and weaknesses and how he could fit into the team's future plans up front. Oh. Well, shit. Where's the rest of it? Oh, it's for paid subscribers. Ha! Oh, well, I'm stupid. All right, whatever. Fuck it. That's what I get. That's what I get for not fully reading the article. I was like, oh, this should be a good thing. I just kind of skimmed it. I'm so fucking stupid, guys. Holy shit. Holy shit. Backfield on short yardage. Oh, wow. I'm dumber than fuck, dude. Damn. It's because my brain's melted. It's because I'm up here sweating my balls off, guys. Your buddy from Seattle almost jumped off a building. Oh, dude. Yeah, I don't know how I would have handled. That would have just that call in the Super Bowl, not giving it to Marshawn, would have just been like beating your head against a wall. Oh my God, dude. I remember that happening, being like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And that's not even my team. I don't even like the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? Screaming at the TV, run the ball. Yeah, I think everybody was screaming, "Run the ball," guys. I think that was kind of a no-brainer, right? And then Pete Carroll, just being stupid. The play calling in the playoffs was odd. It's like Ben choked under the big lights. Sam, who is the Saints' old head coach who's now his defensive coordinator? God damn it. I can see his name. Who is the Saints' former head coach? Oh, fuck. I can see his name. Because he got fired mid-season. Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen actually kind of slipped up in an interview. And I believe that there's... Let's take a little look. NFL, Ben Johnson, collusion. There's a discussion and suspicion around potential collusion in the NFL regarding Ben Johnson's contract. Some reports of the high salary first-time head coach could be a result of collusion among owners rather than fair market value. This stems from concerns. No, that's not it. Early hire? I feel like I remember seeing a story about regarding the Chicago Bears' concerns about an early hire. Then was regarding from interviewing assistant coach under contract on the team. Timely Johnson, who was with Detroit Lions offense coordinator, was top candidate. Had initial interviews with the January 11th Lions first round buyoff. Rose from have a second interview. Johnson was coveted candidate. The Bears acted quickly. No indication. Dennis Allen, Ben Johnson, contact in November? In November, Ben Johnson, the Detroit Lions officer, contacted Dennis Allen, who had recently been fired as New Orleans head coach, to gauge his interest in joining Johnson's future coaching staff, potentially with the Chicago Bears. Okay, all right, so it was potentially with the Chicago Bears. It wasn't planned. But the contract occurred while Johnson was still coaching the Lions, even though they're preparing for a potential Super Bowl run. Allen, who is experienced head coach, blah, 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 expressed interest. And ultimately, so what I was kind of saying is we talked about Osama Ben Johnson. Fuck me, that is funny as shit. Oh God. Oh, fuck. Oh, arf. Oh, arf. Arf. Ah. Osama Ben Johnson. Oh, that is funny. Holy shit. That's a good one, brother. That's a good one. Oh, that is fucking good, dude. That is Osama Ben Johnson. Brother, that is funny. Holy shit. Oh man. All right, so what I was hinting at is so Dennis Allen says that Ben Johnson contacted him about interest in joining his coaching staff potentially with the Bears in November. So that means that Ben Johnson had already basically unofficially signed to be the Bears head coach. So could it be said that he just wanted to hurry up and get the season over with and he tanked our playoff game? Because, dude, that play calling was fucking weird, dude. Like, it was not what our team was doing all season long, and we just went out there and just crap her down right in the bed, dude. Right in the bed. Oy vey. Yeah. All right, so we got 9 minutes to ram through this. Although I hate we share the same last name. Oh, yeah, Chase. That does suck, dude. I didn't even think about that. Hell yeah. New name official. Yeah, so Osama Ben Johnson. That's awesome. That's the new official name for him. Osama Ben Johnson. Holy shit, that is good, dude. This wins the internet brand. Yes, dude. Osama Ben Johnson. Awesome. All right, let's fly through this ranking. The top 5 decisions Sheila's made as the Lions owner. Number 5, hiring Chris Peelman. When the Lions elected to move from general manager Bob Quinn and head coach Patricia Hamp assembled a strong group to help find the next leaders of the organization. Included in this group, along with top personnel executives, was a franchise legend. Chris Spielman had been working as a color commentator on Fox when the Lions came calling, and he would end up returning to the organization where he played 8 of his 10 NFL seasons. An eventual inductee into the team's pride of the Lions, Spielman has been a valuable part of the organization. Number 4, mending relationships with Megatron is a smart thing. That is a smart move they did because he's a modern NFL player with influence, shall we say. When Hall of Fame wide receiver Calvin Johnson retired, it came as a shock to the Lions fan base. More so, it also created a rift between Johnson and the organization over a dispute over the remaining money in his contract. As a result, Johnson was at odds with the organization after having to pay back $1.6 million of his remaining signing bonus. The rift resulted in him being away from the team for a lengthy period before he began returning to the mix with appearances at minicamp and training camp practices. Over the last 2 years, Johnson has once again become a focal point of the organization. He was inducted into the Pride of the Lions last season in the team's Monday Night Football win over the Seabags and can be frequently seen prior to games on the sidelines. Number 3, firing Fat Patricia and Butthole Bob Quinn. Hamp and her mother Martha elected to retain Quinn and Patricia for the 2020 season, which was not greatly received by the fan base after 2 rough years to begin their respective tenures. However, Hamp put high expectations on the team for the impending campaign. When things soured and the team was beaten soundly on Thanksgiving by the Houston Texans, Hamp elected to fire the tandem and move on from the struggles of that era. It was a bold decision in her first year at the helm, and as such, she demonstrated that she would be willing to make tough decisions in the best interest of the team. The replacement for Quintricia, Campbell, and Holmes have worked out nicely. Number 2, investing in the organization. Something that hinders teams like the Cincinnati Bengals. They don't like to put money into their own team. Hamp has been a force behind making several important decisions to invigorate and improve the overall experience for players and members of the team and coaching staff. She is clearly invested in the day-to-day operations of the team, which has been an important part of the team's success. The team has made many improvements to the Allen Park facility, which has in turn helped the fan experience at training camp, practices, as well as the player experience. Most notably, the team just renovated the locker room to their practice facility. Her demonstrations to help boost the organization's spirits has been notable. Hamp has made it clear that she desires to make Detroit a destination before free agents, something that is never really happened for us. We've always been a get your bag on the way out the door before you retire spot for aging vets and rookies that don't want to be here. And the number one and most important thing that she has done since taking over the helm as the Detroit Lions owner, hiring Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Both were done in an unconventional way, and it's worked out magnificently. And Holmes and Campbell, the Lions have found two leaders capable of leading them to the top of the proverbial mountain. While the start of their tenure was rocky, it was the result of a thorough rebuild that has since yielded strong results. The Lions poached Holmes away from the Los Angeles Rams front office, where he had worked his way up the ranks into leadership role on the collegiate scouting side. He has been in that role since 2013 and has proven to be a keen evaluator of talent based on drafting track records since taking over. Meanwhile, Campbell was the tight ends coach and assistant head coach under Sean Payton in New Orleans for 5 seasons. He had been learning the ins and outs of being a head coach and as such was well prepared for the opportunity. Moreover, both had the necessary hunger to lead an organization in desperate need of new fire. The results have been solid, as they've teamed up to lead the team in 2 consecutive division titles and within a game of the Super Bowl in 2023. And it was done in an unconventional way. Normally you see the GM get hired, and then the GM hires their head coach. But what you seen was Dan Campbell picking up the phone, calling Sheila and saying, "Hey, man, Sheila, I want to be the head coach of your Detroit Lions, man. I can do it, man." And she hired him. And then she hired Brad Holmes. And in a revolutionary style of hiring, talk about a match made in hell. Ha! Just kidding. Match made in heaven. Match made in hell for the rest of the NFL, as it has been just absolute harmony. Just, we're so lucky. We're so lucky to be living through this era of Detroit Lions football. It's so awesome. We are finally getting to be a positive franchise in the NFL. And then because of Sheila, we are a destination for free agents. You think, yeah, okay, so, yeah, historically, we would have signed a guy like DJ Reader and been like, yeah, hell yeah, we signed DJ Reader. Woo! Yeah! But instead, we signed DJ Reader, and we're like, all right, it's DJ Reader, and he'll be able to do what he can do. Good thing we got Lee McNeil. You know what I'm saying? Normally, we would have had to have, traded for Carlton Davis, and then he would have left after 1 year like he did. But we wouldn't have been able to go out and get some guy, some top-end corner. We'd have had to settle for a Jag, just a guy. But instead, we went after the top corner in the market, DJ Reed. And it's going to work out magnificently. We bolstered our secondary because we are a destination that free agents want to come to, because not only is it a good facility where you get to play 9 games indoors because of the division, and now the facilities are better, and you have a chance, better than most teams' chance right now to win a Super Bowl. So cheers to Sheila, Stone Cold Fox, absolutely awesome. We're going to hit the chat one last time here. You guys, yeah, I really like. Don't take credit for it. It's been around a lot of line. Damn it! That sucks. I still like it though. I still think that's hilarious. The Osama Ben Johnson. That would have been awesome on a T-shirt. Osama Ben Johnson. I just said I didn't come up with it. You'd sell 100,000. Yeah, dude. That Osama Ben Johnson is fucking funny. I like that. Since I hadn't heard it before, I am going to give Arf the credit for at least introducing it into the lexicon of the Hat and Beard Show. So shout out Arf, dude. All right, guys, it's been a good show. Let's check the chat or the poll one more time. We got 89% of you say F small PP, 1 like equals 1 F BJ, and then 11% of you say you still love Bend Over Johnson. So we're going to go ahead and end that poll. Appreciate everybody doing it. Appreciate you all tuning in today. It's been a little bit more of a low week here. We're not, it's the lowest of the low points, the hottest part of the summer before we lead into the start of training camps, and then before you know it, guys, the regular season will be here, and we'll be talking football 5 days a week. We're going to be missing stories because there'll be so much to talk about. There's going to be football, and I can't wait for it. Never thought I would see the day that our front office was top 5 in the league. Not bad for the lady that couldn't get a job in the NFL. Thank you, Sheila. Exactly, dude. Look at what she's done, and now we can't hang on to coaches because people want some of the Brad Holmes magic. They want some of the Sheila and Dan Campbell sauce. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely awesome. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for today. We got a little bit weird with it from time to time, but hey, it is what it is, and we do what it do. So sorry we had a total dud on that Miles Frazier article. I really dropped the ball on that, but that's That's because I'm kind of stupid, so I'm kind of retarded. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So have yourself a good rest of the day. Stay cool out there, guys. Drink some water. Until tomorrow, I've been Hattenbeard. You've been Attentive Audience. Bonga bonga. Frig off.